let's turn to today's news poll in The Australian, and it will be sending alarm bells right through the Albanese government. Labor's primary vote has fallen 2 points since December, while in the two-party preferred survey, they're now trailing the opposition. And it's not much better for Anthony Albanese personally. The Prime Minister's approval ratings have slumped to their lowest levels since he became PM. Joining me now is The Australian's chief political correspondent, Jeff Chambers. Jeff, great to see you again. Look, how do you interpret these news poll results when it comes to Albanese's chances of winning the next election?
Hi, Sharri. So to just put it in context, at the 22 election, Anthony Albanese claimed a small majority government on a primary vote of 32.6%. That primary vote, so they're now at 31%, at 32.6, which was actually worse than Bill Shorten's losing election results. That was the worst result in Labor history since 1934. So what we're seeing in this preferential system is a system that benefits Labor, but all the hardheads in Labor have been perpetually concerned about that very low primary vote. And what it means is they rely on Greens' preferences, and they heavily relied on the rise of the Teals last time, and then they just got there with that big swing against the Liberal Party in Perth. So that's where it's looking at. It's not a good trend downwards, and if they were to go into the 20s, that's very concerning for Labor. And on the other side, for Peter Dutton and the coalition, what we're seeing in these preferential systems is that a coalition is going to need a primary vote of 42% North to be in a position to win outright. So I think it's Peter Dutton's getting closer, but because of the system that we have, Anthony Albanese definitely benefits from the Greens and the Teals.
Although, if Dutton's primary, even if it stays the same, but if it does edge a bit higher, it will be hard for the Teals to win those seats back, because the Teals to win also rely on preferences as well from the Greens and Labor, won't it?
Oh, certainly. And I think this is the issue with national polling, though, is that it's not going to be uniform. So depending on if it's a metropolitan inner city seat, a regional seat or an outer suburban seat, those preferences will flow in different ways. So, look, Peter Dutton is certainly on the ascendancy, and we've seen these numbers dropping down, and Anthony Albanese's personal appeal, his performance ratings dropping at pace since the Voice referendum defeat.
And I guess this is why the Liberal Party released this advert today about Peter Dutton personally. Have a look.
As a minister, I learned that a strong economy and a safe community are central to everything, that you sometimes need to stand up to vested interests and always make decisions in our national interest. The right decisions aren't always popular, but I'm not interested in taking the easy path, because we live in the best country in the world, and I'm determined to get Australia back on track.
So, Jeff, this is clearly designed to personalise Dutton to voters and endear him.
Yeah, look, it's been a challenge for Peter Dutton to soften the so-called hard man image. But this 60-second ad is pretty slick. It covers a lot of ground. It ticks a lot of boxes. And I think there's a telling sign at the end of that advertisement, which will be running on TV and social media, where he says that, that being Prime Minister, you have to make decisions that aren't always popular, and he's willing to do that. So, he's trying to, I guess, contrast his style with Anthony Albanese's.
Just before you go, you've written that small business owners are shaping up to be key players in this election for both Albanese and Dutton. Why do they hold so much voting sway in this particular election?
Yeah, so there's out of 2.6 million companies, businesses in this country, there's 2.5 million small businesses. They employ 5.3 million Australians and pump $500 billion annually into the Australian economy. So we hear a lot about big business, but as a collective, you think about the multiplier effect and the importance of small businesses across the country, but particularly outer suburbs and the regions that Peter Dutton is looking to pick seats off Labor. And as we've seen, I've written about, we're currently experiencing record levels of insolvencies. For small businesses, it's power prices, insurance premiums, and those rents. So, you know, whether it's the CBD or in the regions, we're seeing more and more businesses have to shut down. You see Peter Dutton really lining himself up there as the champion of small business.
Yeah. All right, Jeff Chambers, thank you so much for your analysis tonight.